Alright everyone, so I wanted to talk about this guy right here. This is a mobile hotspot. It's from FreedomPop, and the reason why I got one of these, I really got this more for emergency purposes. If for some reason I'm in an area that I'm not able to get good reception, this thing will get it. Now, if you never heard of FreedomPop before, they're basically a cell phone service that offers really cheap services, but you also get it really limited. So the absolute cheapest service they offer is free. So in this case, I get 500 megabytes of free data each month when I use this thing. Now, for example, I've tried this over at a friend's house. He kind of lives out in the middle of nowhere, and it's actually going through the Sprint service. And over there, they tend to get pretty good service through Sprint. So, because I use T-Mobile, I wasn't getting any service there because T-Mobile, but, you know, supposedly in the next couple of years, that's going to change. But for right now, I couldn't really use T-Mobile, so what I did was I power this on. It turns on the Wi-Fi signal, and I just connect my phone to this through Wi-Fi, and I pretty much get everything I need. Though the speed of it is a little bit on the slow side because it is the free version, but for emergency purposes, just to get online, just to get some kind of connection, this works perfectly fine. Now, the way this works, by the way, this is the FreedomPop SuperNova 660, I want to say. It's the SuperNova 4G, but even though this does support 4G, you have to pay extra for it. So basically, I'm getting slow 3G speeds out of this thing, but like I said, for a free service, for emergency purposes, this is fine. Now, I got lucky that I actually got this on Amazon through their warehouse discount thing that Amazon sometimes does. So I was able to get this for $25. That also comes with the SIM card in it, and that also allows you to get that free service. So for $25, it's basically a one-time fee. Now, I do pay an extra service for this thing, and for like $4 a month, it's able to roll over any unused data over to the next month. And because I get 500 megabytes of free service each month, any of the 500 I don't use gets carried over to the next month. So right now, I have about 1.3 gigabytes of free data to use. Well, free data in the sense of the data I've accumulated onto this thing. So for $4 a month to carry over, you don't have to pay for that, of course. You can just do the 500 megs and that's it. For me, I figure it's like, you know what, let me add on that because only $4, not too much, and for some reason I'm stuck somewhere and I have to make a call or something, at least I will have the amount of data. And by the way, it's able to go up to 20 gigabytes. So once it reaches 20 gigs of unused data, that's where it caps. So I don't see myself capping at 20 gigs, but it's nice to have that just in case. So basically the way this works, with this particular model, you got your little front LED indicators on there. Over here is a micro USB port on there for charging. This is your power button, and that's pretty much it. You are able to take this back plate off, but like I said earlier, it's not really necessary. But after you set this up, you're pretty much ready to go. in my case, I already had a FreedomPop account because I had a SIM card for a secondary phone, just for emergency purposes. But I figure it's like, you know what? Saying carrying around two phones, let me get this. Just have this, and the battery life on this thing is actually pretty good. So basically, the way this works, you hold down the power button until a light comes on, and there it goes. So right now it's booting up. And while this is booting up, let's, and by the way, on Amazon right now, you can get new ones for like 80 bucks. So, yeah. Anyway, so right now my phone is connected to my Wi-Fi network at my house. So I'm just going to open up the speed test, and we're going to see what kind of speeds we get. And if you're wondering what kind of provider I use Charter Spectrum. So my download speed is 52 megs down and almost, well, 5.8 up. Not too bad. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi, and I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm going through T-Mobile. Just to get an idea of the speed difference. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised how quick that is. Almost gigabit speeds. Holy crap. Wow, my upload speed on this thing is actually a lot quicker. I'm actually quite impressed by that. Good job, T-Mobile. So yeah, 90 megs down and 24.6 upload speed through T-Mobile. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the Wi-Fi, and it is turned on right now. So the green light basically means that's my battery level. So there's a green, yellow, and red, and once it starts blinking, that's like really low battery. The circles, the 3 circles, or it was 3 circles, that is the signal strength of connecting through Sprint. And then this other one over here, that's, you know, if I just press the button, it'll go to sleep, and then that light will just like pulsate. But right now I'm getting a full strength on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the hotspot now. And my mobile hotspot is CB64 mobile hotspot. So we're getting an internet connection, and let's go ahead and hit go. Now keep in mind is that you can't pay extra for like 4G speeds. I'm doing the free version. So this is what you get for having a free service through FreedomPop. And like I said before, it is going through Sprint. And my download speed is 4.27 megabits a second. And 0.92 megabits upload speed, almost 1 meg. Now, is this fast? No. But if you're in the middle of nowhere and you're not getting good service, make sure you double check the coverage. But for the 3G speeds, this can pretty much go in most areas in the state of Georgia that I live at. And if I primarily get speeds like this pretty much anywhere, you know what, for emergency purposes, like I said before, this is perfectly fine. So, like I said before, you don't have to pay for the rollover or anything like that. You can just buy the unit and just do the free 500 megs a month, and you're good to go. One-time one-time payment for one of these, and that's pretty much it. And you know, not too much weight or anything. Nice, apart from the glossiness on this thing, which it will scratch up over time. But apart from that, this thing works fine. You know, full strength on the Wi-Fi on there, and it works fine. For what I wanted to do, it works perfectly fine. Now, another good reason to have one of these, and why I pretty much put this in my laptop bag, is that if for some reason I need to go to do like some banking stuff, you know, out in public for some reason, which I tend to do it at home anyway, but if for some reason I need to do some more personal stuff and I don't want to just use the public Wi-Fi, I could go through here, but I also have the option to use this too. So that is something to keep in mind. And depending on your cell phone plan, you might not have the option to do a mobile hotspot on here. I do, but like I said, this is through T-Mobile, and as of right now, T-Mobile is really good for like cities and residential areas in most areas. But when it comes to more rural areas, that's where T-Mobile kind of falls flat, and that's why I have this. But I do have the option to use this if I want to use my laptop to connect online and do some banking stuff, or you know, just for whatever reason I don't want to go through the phone. I've got this. So I just wanted to show you this and give you my thoughts on one of these things. If you're someone like me that doesn't really necessarily need to rely on one of these, but it's just a good backup to have, this is probably the best deal you're going to find. Even if you're going to be paying between $50 to $80 brand new for one of these, I still say it is a good thing to have. And so far I really haven't had any real issues. Now keep in mind, if you never used FreedomPop before, part of the reason why they're actually so cheap and you can actually get free service is because if you're using the free service, you're not getting phone support. So if you do need technical support, the most you can do without paying is to do through email. The problem if you go through email is that it takes about 4 days to get a reply. So that is something to keep in mind. That is part of the reason why most people will pay a premium on a normal cell phone plan, is because that's part of what you're paying for, is the phone support. In this case, I could do phone support, but I don't want to pay for it. So, you know, you do kind of have to wait a little bit, you know, for any kind of support. But most of the common issues you will run into, you can get that through their website, through their support page. And while I couldn't find particular issues that I was having going through the email, even though I had to wait about 4 days, I did get a reply back, and it actually did fix the issue I was having. So if you can look past the support side of things, this actually works perfectly fine. If you're more technical, then yeah, you shouldn't be needing support on this. But for the most part, I haven't had issues, and pretty much once you do get this up and running, it works fine. No real issues. You can log into this thing like any other Wi-Fi router at home, and you can set up your credentials, how you want to name the Wi-Fi signals, passwords, and all that stuff. It supports all the standards like a normal Wi-Fi router. So that is something to keep in mind with these things. It's just safer to use than a public Wi-Fi. Yes. If you have it secured, yes, it is. So that is part of the reason why I think having one of these is actually a good idea. If you're in an area that you don't get service and you just need to connect online, or if you just want to go do some more personal stuff on your computer, and you don't want to use the public Wi-Fi, this is a good option too. So that is something to keep in mind. I do recommend getting one of these things, but you know, you can get similar versions through T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, things like that. But if you want to go absolute cheapest possible, this is going to be it. Anyway, that's it. Like always, have a good one. Leave those comments down below. Like this video, share this video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notified. And like always, have a good one.